and welcome to Topham Chats, the show where I chat to various members of the Rooster Teeth community. My guest this week is Craig, or TheLadderMan. Hey man, how's it going?
I'm doing well, mate. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. This week's been a bit of a pain, and now I'm glad to see it over.
Now's where you can relax. You got the weekend coming up. I can't. I've got work. So,
pain.
Win some, lose some.
Yeah. Oh, well. So, let's start as I always start. Rooster Teeth or Achievement Hunter?
Oh, man. Straight out with the big question.
That's my favorite question to ask as well, because everyone's like, I don't know. And then, like, recently I've been like, or Funhouse?
Ooh.
I'm trying to incorporate that too, and then I forgot this time when I was doing it. So, yeah, well done me. But, yeah, Rooster Teeth or Achievement Hunter or Funhouse?
Okay, I'm going to have to go with Rooster Teeth as an overall bracket. And based on what you told me beforehand with the questions that you're going to ask, I'll explain that a little bit. So
okay, fair enough. I took a opportune drink right then.
Yeah, that was perfect timing.
Well done, me. So, yeah, just Rooster Teeth in general, I guess. So, how did you discover the community? How did you discover Rooster Teeth and their productions and things like that?
Okay. So back in late 2013, sad story coming up. I went through a breakup. Oh man, didn't that suck? During that time, I wasn't doing too well. I was at university and I wasn't enjoying my course. Things just were on a little bit of a downward spiral for me at the time. And I suddenly had an epiphany of sorts. I suddenly remembered how once upon a time on YouTube, I saw a video of a guy playing some video games and getting very angry at them. And I remember that they made me laugh.
Fair enough.
So I managed to remember that they were called Rage Quit. I started watching those, and by that point they were on the Rooster Teeth channel. And then from that, found Achievement Hunter obviously through Michael. So started watching a whole lot more Achievement Hunter content, and then decided to branch out a little bit further into what is this Rooster Teeth that I see associated with this Achievement Hunter thing? Why am I not aware of this? And so I started watching a lot more of that content. Instantly loved all of the content that they create, and that's why I said before, overall incorporating brackets, because now I love everything, including Funhouse, which has just come in. I think they're great. So yeah,
I think they're great too. It's like, I'm glad to see they're an addition, but at the moment I'm just like, there's so much good stuff that's coming out. I'm not able to. I'm trying my best to keep up with the Let's Plays, but they're the things that are falling behind.
Yeah, it's a real struggle to keep up with everything that is coming out. I try to make sure that I can keep up with as much as possible, but there's so much that I still have to catch up on as well. Like I said, I got into it in 2013. I've still got a back catalogue that I need to catch up on.
Oh man, that was even after 50 episodes into Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So have you watched all the Minecraft
I have caught up on Minecraft.
Okay. Minecraft's like the series that should be caught up on, as well as, I guess, GTA, but GTA aren't numbered.
GTA I've looked at a little bit more extensively. I love some of their GTA 4 videos. So it was nice seeing them incorporate some of those in GTA 5 as well, like Cops and Robbers, I think it was. They tried it. I loved watching that.
That was so good. So good. So what's your favourite production coming out of Rooster Teeth at the moment?
At the moment, favorite production.
Yeah. So they've got so much.
They really do. I always love watching the $1 Million But. I think they're phenomenal. I love how they do those as well, so that as they're going through these scenarios, they're also acting out the scenarios and making them hilarious. I'd say that's my favorite for Rooster Teeth itself. Achievement Hunter. I'm still going to have to say Minecraft. I love how creative they can still be, considering they've done 100, almost 200 episodes at this point. They're well on their way to that.
Yeah, they're coming up on 200. Yeah. I wasn't expecting them to well, for me, I remember episode 100 coming around really clearly. I've been watching from episode 7 or 8, specifically Minecraft. Episode 100 came around, I was like, it'll be forever until they get to episode 200. Now I'm just like, episode 200 seems so close.
Oh, it's exactly the same.
What happened with all the time? Yeah.
How have you covered?
All the time?
How have you covered 70/80 episodes that I haven't been aware of? How have this many weeks passed?
I know. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy, and yeah, it's cool to see that they'll come out with new ideas and everything. But I can't wait to see this week's episode.
Yeah, me either.
Actually, I always can't wait to see the new episode. So it's just like, that's nothing
Constantly
new there.
refreshing YouTube and checking the Rooster Teeth site for any new content updates.
Yeah. I've been like really enjoying a lot of the live action stuff. Mostly like what's it called? On the Spot. I'm glad that came back.
On the
so
Spot's an
like,
incredible series.
So
John does a fan.
I'm just like, this is so much
I
fun.
love John because he does great as a presenter, and he knows that he's going to get trolled while doing it, and he just sits there and he's like,
yeah,
it's all fun.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, when I was at RTX, I got to speak to him. I was just like, On the Spot's my favorite show. He was like, oh, thank you very much. And then he also complimented me on my energy, like my jumpy aroundness, which I guess anyone watching this or listening to this can't tell, but I am actually jumping around.
You are bouncing around like you're on a pogo.
I'm just like, I'm super excited. I'm always excited though, so that's not really a surprise. But yeah, he writing commented on my energy. I was like, oh, that's awesome. That like,
it's always one of the perks of seeing you in person as well, mate. You are excitable as hell.
I know. I'm excitable. So totally excitable. So speaking of meeting up in person, RTUK is a thing. I was there a few weeks ago.
Is it a thing? I've never heard of it.
You're very much involved in it. So how did you get involved in like doing all like the RTUK kind of stuff, and what prompted you getting involved?
Okay, so am I allowed to do kind of announcement-y thing? Because I don't know how many people are listening to this who knows me, but the thing with me now is that I am the new head of RTUK, the event, and I'm kind of representing the community for the UK. That's my thing now. Yeah, when it comes to the community, so like I said, I started watching things in late 2013. It was around March of 2014 that I started to speak to people online and create some kind of community presence. And then it wasn't until RVB UK 2014 where I met you. Fantastic time. Yes, you were.
I was there.
That was actually my first ever community event. And so in a year, things have changed quite significantly.
Yeah, they have.
So I went along to that event and I absolutely loved it. I loved all the people who I met there. Made some incredible friends who I hope to keep for, as long as foreseeably possible. I think everyone in the community is fantastic who I've had the privilege of meeting. And after RVB UK 2014, I started speaking to Jason, who was the head of RTUK. I hate saying that because that makes me feel weird. But I started speaking to Jason a lot more and developed a good friendship with him. He does his own events with his company Sidefest as well, and he did one in Leicester called CreatorCon earlier this year, 2015, and he actually enlisted me to help out with that. So I went along to that and I helped out. Captain Nay was there as well. We had a good time doing that, and I started talking to Jason a whole lot more about RTUK, and he brought me in as part of the RTUK development team, started bouncing some ideas around, and then he said to us at one point, he's been doing this for 10 years, he wanted to make this one his last year, and there was complete moment of silence among us all, just going, wow, that's a big thing, because 10 years and you're leaving, you're leaving as the head of RTUK. That's quite significant. So he was looking for someone to take over it, and he kept asking us in part of the development team, because he knows that we're all very much involved in RTUK and in the community itself. And he kept talking to me about some ideas and some potential things that were going on, what was going on with this year's event. And then eventually he just went, look, man, I'm just going to ask you straight out. Do you want to be the head of RTUK after I leave? I think you do a really great job of it. That meant a whole lot to me. So I said to him, I'll be honest, I would completely love to do it with the support of the community. That was kind of my stipulation because, 10 years of him doing this, and I'm this guy who's been around not all that long, and suddenly it's like, hey, he's taking over. And I was like, don't get me wrong, I would like to think that I can do a good job with this, and I hope that I'm already showing some of that with some of the things that I'm putting into place. But it is one of those things where I was hesitant initially, and now I'm just all out, putting in the work for it, and hopefully I'll do a good job. So, that's kind of my community involvement and where I am now.
Yeah, cool. So, what's in the future? Is it more meetups and just general shenanigans going on and just trying to keep a hold of what's happening in the UK community?
I think that if you look at Rooster Teeth now, RTX has been going since, I think it was 2011, their first one?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And then January coming up, you've got RTX Australia as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that the community is still one of those things that has built Rooster Teeth up and made it as popular as it is, and they thrive off the community. You can still see that there's a strong bond between content creators and the community in that sense. Now, the UK is one of the top 3 locations for community prosperity. It is the United States, Australia, and the UK.
Hey, wait a second. You forgot about Canada there. I'm sure they'll have something to say about that.
Hi, Canada.
RBBTO, right?
True. You are correct.
From all that and Toronto Unconventional.
You are
obviously
correct.
The same one, and then it evolved into Unconventional.
I apologize, Canada. I'm sorry.
Oh. So there's 4 big communities.
4 big, yeah. Let's just ignore the past minute of what I just said. There's 4 big areas. So, we're one of those 4, and I think it's good for us to kind of show our passion for Rooster Teeth as we do it. So, what I'm doing at the moment, or at least the main thing that I've been working on since I became the head of RTUK, is the RTUK gaming community. So, I spoke to 2 of the guys from our community who were essentially admins for Xbox game nights. And I said to them, okay, here's the thing that we've got coming up. It's a tournament called Rooster Rumble. Are you familiar with it?
I am, yes. I was supposed to be in 3 different teams, maybe 4. And I was just like, I don't know where my allegiance lies right now.
We know where your allegiance lies, even if you don't.
Yeah, but a bunch of those groups got dropped off anyway, so there's only 2 groups I could be left in, so that's okay.
Is it RTUK and I want to say RT Radio?
That is correct, yes.
I knew it. No pressure on you then. Choose.
Not at all.
But for those who don't know, Rooster Rumble is a tournament which is going on between 20 of the sub-communities from the overall Rooster Teeth community. And so I looked at this, I saw it was coming up, and Jason actually entered into that before leaving the role. So he messaged me and he went, we're in this. I think this would be a good thing for you to start off with. And I went, quickly did a whole lot of research on it and went, okay, I understand this now. Now I need to try and find PlayStation and PC representatives who would be able to play in Rooster Rumble for us. And that kind of sparked the idea of the overall gaming community. So as I started off saying, I spoke to the Xbox admins and I went, look, here's the idea that I've got in mind. I want to make it an overall thing. So we've got PlayStation admins, we've got PC admins, we've got community game nights involved, which is something that I want to build up to as well. So we, RTUK actually has its own, or rather will have its own Twitch account so that we can do Jackbox nights, we can do Cards Against Humanity nights, things so that we can get more people involved in these game nights and actively keep people involved, because it's all good having the Xbox game nights, but if we don't have PlayStation and PC and Nintendo and all these things which are still very, very popular and people do play these platforms, why aren't we capitalizing on this?
Why are we neglecting a whole bunch of the community that just don't have one specific bit of kit?
Exactly. It's leaving people out, and that's not what I want. I do want to kind of unite everyone as part of this strong community. So I made the gaming community, and we're in the process of the moment creating a schedule for when game nights will be across these multiple platforms. And I've got Jason and another one of the community, Luke, are helping me with Rooster Rumble. They're kind of front running it and getting teams and deciding on the challenges, communicating with the other sub communities, while I do all of the admin work in the background with social media and things like that. So that's the immediate thing that I'm doing, but I'm also looking at getting more meetups throughout the year, and just trying to keep more people involved actively in the community. I remember from personal experience how much I enjoyed meeting everyone at RVB UK 2014, and I want other people to kind of share that experience. I want people to share their love of Rooster Teeth, and who knows what might be in store for, I know what might be in store for RTUK 2016, but with any luck, we'll be able to get more publicity and popularity for that and make a really strong event out of it as well. So
yeah, it's I've always found, like, with community events, it's hard to get people to go along to them, and then once they've gone along to them, there's like, oh, why wasn't I doing that in the past? So it's all about trying to get people out to the events, like, even if they're smaller events, and just be like, oh, come along, just have some fun. And
that's exactly what it is. I met I met 4 guys from the UK initially just through Twitch streams that I was watching, like Ray and like Tina, and we decided. This was before RVB UK 2014. We decided that the 5 of us would all actually have a meetup and just be together in person, because we were friends simply from that initial communication. Why don't we meet each other and actually make a thing out of this? And then as soon as we did that, it was great. I'm still friends with all of those guys now, and that just encouraged me more to get involved in the community and meet more people. So I think, even if you just meet people from playing these games or from Twitch streams, sure enough, you do develop these friendships. And even if you have to start just meeting these people, go out and do it, because, they are your friends. Great, see where it leads. It's clearly taken me to a place that I didn't foresee, and love where I am now. So
yeah, it's meetups are just so much fun, because you just get to meet a whole bunch of people, and people will turn up. Like, when I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to meet up in London, and Izzy was like, get people she invited a whole bunch of people. I got messages from people just saying, oh, can I just come along? I don't really know anyone. I was like, yeah, absolutely come along. Absolutely meet people. Because it was like a month before RTX as well, and they're just like, oh, I'm going to RTX and I don't really know anyone. It's like, come along, because a bunch of us are going to RTX, so we'll all hang out together, and then when we get to Texas, we'll hang out there as well, and then we can introduce you to more people, because we all know people from the States as well as over here. And
that's exactly what it
involved is like, it's just one of the best things as well. It's just so good.
Yeah, it was similar at RTUK 2015, because the initial night, the Friday night, which was the meet and greet essentially, where we were all just at a pool bar, I consciously made the effort to go around and introduce myself to as many people who I possibly could. I think I covered at least 95% of people. There may have been just a few people who I didn't get the chance to and then spoke to on the Saturday instead. But I went around, introduced myself to them. For some of them, it was their first community event. And sure enough, it was a case of, I want to introduce myself to this person to be like, hey, welcome to the community. We're all friends here. It's all well and good. Get involved, speak to people. It's great fun. And I'm hoping that they're going to keep going to community things, community meetups, and get involved in community events as a result because of that experience. So yeah, I completely understand it, and I'm looking forward to more meetups. MCM coming up soon. So yeah.
MCM's gonna be that's in a few weeks, isn't it? Christ.
Yes, it is. 3 weeks.
Cool.
Countdown's on.
Lots of people are going. Actually, that's one of the good things about MCM as well. Like, it's a big open space. It's a convention hall, but you will see people in our t-shirts and just be like, come along to the meetup, have some fun. Although I kind of went a bit overboard on that, like the first time. I was like, come along to the meetup. They're like, maybe.
And people are like,
please no. And just stop wondering. MCM's a great place to meet everyone. And it's a really casual atmosphere. And people will be dressed up as well. And that gives you an opening to be like, I really like your costume. Or, oh, that's a really cool weapon. How long did it take you to work on it? And things like that. It gives you like, aside from even just asking people at RTUK, like, to break the ice, like, oh, what's your favorite show and things like that. There's so many easy ways into conversation with people that I think that sometimes it can be daunting. You're like, I don't know what to talk about. You're like, Rooster Teeth. Talk about Rooster Teeth. That's okay.
That's the thing.
One of the things is, when we're there and we're all friends, you won't hear us talk that much about Rooster Teeth. Like, it doesn't get mentioned that much because we're all like, oh, we all assume that we all really enjoy it. And that doesn't become the focus of many conversations. But if we want to go there and we need something to fall back on, it's definitely there for us to be like, oh, yes, what do we think about this? And it's great.
It's a thing where you're there and you're like, let's make friends. But we know that, as you said, should conversations start to run dry or whatever, all you have to do is turn to someone and go, so what shows do you like from Rooster Teeth? And boom, conversation launches up again into a whole new thing, and it's a great way to meet people. I'm really looking forward to it. You said about cosplay, and cosplay is something that I think is phenomenal. It's something that I've never actually got involved in myself, but every time that I see it, I'm like, that is creative genius. Congratulations to you. I really appreciate the work that you've done, and sure enough, it's something that I actually want to celebrate at RTUK 2016 going forwards. We had the photo shoot and the photo gallery this year, and it's something that I'd like to continue and maybe look into doing more to celebrate going forward. So very, very actively a part of the community, cosplay, and why aren't we again celebrating it? Let's do it. Embrace the cosplay as it so is.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, RTUK is awesome. That's what we're learning today. And I think everyone should go to more community meetups and have more fun and just be like, things are great. Even just get in contact with people. Be like, oh, we all are on the same system, which is something that's been set up on Facebook. I've seen there's like, oh, yeah, we're all on PS4. Oh, we're all on Xbox One. Here's all our gamer tags.
Yeah.
Like, go through the list, add those people, and then be like, let's play games. And so there's great ways to meet a whole bunch of people. And when the schedules do come out and we're like, oh, we've got game nights, these nights, and these nights, it'll really help promote the growth of the UK community, which is exactly what I hope you're hoping to see.
Yeah, that's fingers crossed. That's my intention at least.
Yeah.
So I'll be monitoring it and I'll be doing what I can to keep people actively involved and get more people involved as we go along, because I'm sure there are people who are still like, I like Rooster Teeth, but don't do so much in the community. Yep. And I'm there. My job now is to basically just go, hey, welcome to the community. Get involved in these things, meet people, make friends. It's all fun and games.
Yeah, totally. And should we start to wrap it up? I forgot to ask you to think about a question to ask me. So you can either think about it and be like, here's a question, or you can just forget about it and we'll just pretend that I didn't say this.
Can I ask you to do your best? Who am I going to get you to impersonate?
I don't know. Okay. Let's see how this goes.
Let's go for a fan favourite.
Okay.
Do your best Caboose impression.
I don't know what you're talking about. What other Caboose lines do I know? Oh,
talk to me about Sheila.
Oh, Sheila. I was watching the Columbus Day one the other day. The Columbus Day PSA.
Yeah.
He's like, Columbo Day? What is that? But they don't have Columbo Day up in Canada because they've got the thing over the end. And like, I was stuck on that. And like, I went to see France, Canada last night. So I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, Canada all day. I don't know why. Other Caboose lines. It's like, hey, Caboose, nobody likes you. I like me. And just, Caboose is my favorite character. Why? Yes. Why don't I do more lines of Caboose? I should definitely know more lines that Caboose says.
I will give you an A for effort at this point in time.
Yeah,
probably a C for execution, but an A for effort.
Yeah, I'm trying, but Caboose. Oh dear. Yeah, I wish I knew more Caboose lines. Maybe Blarg is no, it's not. Maybe Blarg means apples. Apples must be the name of his cat. His apple's stuck up in a tree. It's like season 4 Red versus Blue right there.
You've just gone up to a B for execution.
Yes.
Good job.
I used to do Caboose voice all the time, like so frequently. But like it kind of went away as I just wasn't watching RVB as much. Or but and there were far fewer seasons and fewer lines to pick on. But yeah. where can we find you around the internet?
Right. So various places now, I guess. If you're looking for me personally, I am most easily found on Twitter with the handle @RealLadderMan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the RT site as TheLadderMan. And then I'm now on all of the encompassing Rooster Teeth UK social media forms. So the RTUK account on the Rooster Teeth site is me now. @Rooster Teeth UK on Twitter is me now because I've done the successful handover from Jason. And I'm also on the main Rooster Teeth UK page on Facebook. So yeah, various ways to find me, and I'll be looking out for any kind of messages or anything that you guys might have in regards to Rooster Teeth UK and the future of it, and I hope you get involved.
Absolutely, everyone. Do get involved. This community is absolutely wonderful. And with that, thank you, Craig, for being my guest.
Thank you for having me on, mate. I appreciate it.
No problemo. And with that, thank you, everyone, for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.